Joining us this morning, Nicole Hockley, who lost her 6-year-old son Dylan and founded the advocacy group Sandy Hook Promise. So good morning, Nicole. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So Nicole, we've spoken to you over the years. This was no easy victory, going up against very powerful gun lobbyists, right? Legal experts even warned you that the odds were stacked against you. And look how this turned out, right? In the end, what do you think actually led to the insurance companies to settle, Nicole? And what kind of impact do you think it'll actually have on the gun industry?
Well, I can't really get in the minds of the insurance companies as to why they agreed to settle. I think that they saw a lot of evidence in the discovery documents and knew that this would be an uphill battle for them, as it would have been for us. I mean, there was a judge who said that this was a Herculean effort on behalf of the Sandy Hook families that were involved in this case. So this was one of those cases that was always thought to be unwinnable because the gun manufacturers are so untouchable. And I think the key message that this gives to the firearms industry is that you're not untouchable, and you do have to take responsibility and market your product responsibly and thinking about the end user. So that's the change that we are working to force.
Yeah, Nicole, I am the mother of a 6-year-old daughter and cannot imagine the pain that you've had to endure over the past 8 years. So it probably makes sense to a lot of folks when they finally understand why now, that despite the fact that they offered $33 million in the past, Remington offered $33 million in the past, that the families turned it down because it wasn't about that. It wasn't about the money.
Correct. This has never been about money. This has been about change from day one. And, really at the end of the day, since this couldn't go to full trial with Remington being bankrupt, this was the only recourse available to us. But the critical part was to have the discovery documents and be able to share that publicly so that we could educate the public on what was within there and then drive for the change that we want to see.
Was there ever a point where you felt discouraged and wanted to give up on this?
If I'd listened to any of the naysayers over the last 9 years, I would have given up a long, long time ago on everything that I work for. I don't listen to that. If one thing doesn't work, you find a different way. So I have always had hope and optimism that we would see a positive result.
Yeah, and we've talked to you over the years about that hope and positivity, right, for that change, and that's kind of even why you founded the Sandy Hook Promise. But, as part of the settlement, Nicole, Remington is allowing the release, like you talked about, of some of its marketing materials, other internal documents. Does that go far enough?
I think it goes as far as it can. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of documents that are being collated and data stamped so that we can really share the story of a gun manufacturer that was founded on safety and family principles and really lost its way when it was purchased by a private equity group that then became very focused on profits. And to achieve that goal, they became very aggressive in their marketing and targeting end users, especially young men, and saying that, you're not a man if you don't have your AR-15. This is about, the lone shooter and powers of the opposition bow down. These are not ethical marketing messages to give to young, potentially violence-prone men. So that's what we're looking to change is share that information with everyone so that they can see just how insidious this is and create change. They can still do marketing. This is not going to stop gun manufacturing. That was not the intent. Right. It's about being responsible with the messages you send.
Yeah.
So has it been so upsetting for you to see what's happened then in the 10 years since Sandy Hook? I mean, the number of school shootings have increased since 2012. The Department of Homeland Security says 2018 had the most number of school shootings. Do you know if any of those shootings or if many of those shootings involved the same type of assault rifles?
I know that there have definitely been school shootings such as Parkland that used assault rifles, AR-15s. I don't think there is a data source that shows exactly what guns are used in every school shooting or mass shooting. But I know when you look at this year alone, there's already been 49 mass shootings. At this point in February, this is a public health epidemic in our country that we need to do something about.
Absolutely. And Remington filed for bankruptcy 2 years ago, but this settlement, like you've been talking about, more of this message for the rest of the industry. Now, New York has adopted a consumer protection measure similar to the one used to win this case. But how does that measure get around, I guess, the federal law, right, which protects gun makers from these kinds of lawsuits? There seems to be a loophole.
There is a little bit of a state loophole available in some states, not all. But I mean, PLACA, which is the federal law you're referring to, really shields gun manufacturers from any liability or accountability in a mass shooting or shooting incident. The Connecticut trade law that we were looking at specifically talks about responsible marketing, and that was the dent in the armor, as it were, that we went down. It's not available everywhere. I hope more states adopt this or look at this for their state practices, because it is about forcing that accountability in ethical marketing.
Yeah, so that being said, you may have reached a settlement, but your work really isn't over, is it?
Oh gosh, no. This is, today it's right back to work, doing all we can to protect kids, save lives, and drive responsible change.
Nicole, thank you for all you do and for always coming back here to explain everything. We appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, and we did, by the way, PIX11 did reach out to several gun lobbyists to get a statement, and we did not hear back. We're still awaiting a response from them.